Welcome to our award ceremony for the Boys Basketball Awards. This is for our divisions 3-4, 5-6, 7, and 8. My name is Rick Wilhelmi. I'm the Director of Parks and Recreation, and this is Aaron Tranka, our Program Supervisor. I'd like to start off by thanking various people that are involved with our program. This program is very successful due to a lot of volunteers within our organization and within our community. First, I'd like to thank the coaches. Our coaches do a wonderful job. They take the time to teach each of these boys sportsmanship. They take the time to teach them how to play this game, this wonderful game, this lifelong game of basketball. They're giving up their time for an evening practice, a weekend game. Can't thank them enough. If you're all here in front of me, I'd have every one of you stand right now and be recognized. If you are watching, please stand anyhow and be recognized. Thank you. Our basketball referees. Referees, it's a thankless job, let's be honest. All right? Everybody's a referee in the stand, but now you got to be the referee on the court. And these wonderful people do a great job helping guide our kids through this sport of basketball, getting a flow to the game. They do a wonderful job with that. I'd like to thank Gary Gendron, Lance Ozier, Brandon Korn. Brandon is a high school student in our school system, giving of his time to help be on that floor and monitor and guide our young athletes. I'd also like to thank Carl Chaubeck, Marie and Dave Tranka. Without these folks, and wait a minute, I almost forgot, Aaron Tranka. First year in our program, first year as our program supervisor, outstanding job as an official in our youth basketball program. Aaron, thank you very much, by the way. If anybody is interested, this is my time. I like to talk about volunteers, and whether it's volunteering in coaching, volunteering in officiating. In our officiating world, we are always looking for new people who are interested in helping out with this. If you are interested, please give us a call. We'd love to sit down, talk with you. We can help you understand how it's done. Coaching is always sometimes I think in our world now is becoming more of a challenge finding volunteers, especially as we get into our older divisions. Please, we're always looking for volunteers. The other folks I'd like to thank are the parents. Our moms, dads, grandparents, aunts, uncles, guardians, brothers, sisters, everybody who helps out transporting all our players to all these activities that they do. Players, at this time, you might be sitting there watching this. Could you go over there and give your mom and dad a high five for me, please, and say thank you? Because I tell you, they deserve it. They absolutely do. And all you players that are watching, right now, I'd like to have you all stand up and just jump up and down and scream and holler and be very excited because every one of you are awesome. Absolutely awesome. We love watching you on the basketball court. So we're here to do this awards ceremony, and this might be a strange time this time around. We never really fulfilled the end of our season. We never crowned a champion. We never had a runner-up. We did, however, go through our playoffs, and boy, oh boy, did we have some smokers. And that's what it's all about, is playing as hard as you can. And I say this to the players, play as hard as you can and have so much fun it hurts, because that's what it's all about. And you players, coaches, families, all showed that in every single one of these games. They're beautiful. Love being part of it. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to do an awards piece. As I said, we won't crown a first place, second place team because we did not fulfill that. However, the coaches have taken the time to nominate players for sportsmanship, defensive player, most improved, and each league would have an MVP. So with that being said, I'd like to now take time, and what we're going to do is we're going to do each individual division, and we'll go through the teams, and then we'll go through the individual players as well. So hang in there. All righty, now it's time to introduce our individual teams and also our individual awards. This is the boys' grades 3 and 4. I'd like to get into our team standings. Now again, this is as the regular season, all right? So as far as the regular season goes, we had Team Assumption in first place, Team Merrimack second, Franklin Pierce in third, Southern New Hampshire in fourth, Stonehill in fifth, and St. Anselm's in sixth grade. Boy, you know, I look at that list and I read that off and I think back to these playoffs. My goodness, were they ever so exciting. Team St. Anselm's, they went so far into this playoff series. It was beautiful. They were just starting to get their game. I wish we could have gone a little longer, boys, because I think it would have been different. Anyhow, the remaining 3 teams for the boys 3-4 was Team Assumption and Team Franklin Pierce to play one another, and they would go eventually to play Team Merrimack. What I'd like to do right now is take the opportunity to actually introduce all the coaches and players, and we're going to go through this individually, all 6 teams. When we're done with that, then what we'll do is we'll get into the individual awards. Team St. Anselm's, coached by Fred Lewis and Craig Campbell. Our players: Bryce Lewis, Gavin Harris, Zach Perozzi, Jude Elcheco, Peyton Campbell, Ian Singer, Ezekiel Baker, Cameron Hebert, Ruben Janarvin, Benjamin Dubrio. I do apologize if I said anybody's name wrong. Sorry about that. Let's move over to Team Stonehill. Aaron.
Okay, so for the 5th place regular season team, we have Coach Dan Cowett and John Gagney for Team Stonehill. Players were Carter Blanchard, Jacob Cowett, Corey Gagney, Ryan Bernard, Isaac McKay, David Gerling, George Sullivan, Judah Therian, and Hayden Corman.
For our regular season 4th place team, Team Southern New Hampshire University, coached by Mike Berry and Amy Strickland. Players: Brody Shea, Troy Brown, Evan Leshney, Andrew Parnell, Kaysen Gagnon, Cole Nault, Samuel Strickland, Brian Place, Brandon Berry, and Colin Collum.
For the 3rd place regular season Franklin Pierce, we had coaches Chris Freitas and Lowell Zangri. Players, we had Cristiano Freitas, Caleb Furlong, Carter Moore, Shane McGonigal, Owen Labrie, Oliver Nault, Nathaniel Botino, Logan Filipina, Dominic Zangri, and Brody Jadis.
All right, for our 2nd place team, Team Merrimack, coached by David Cardona and Mark Ansel. Team players: Patrick Bailey, Max Damboys, Marcus Ansel, Roger Bowden, Charlie Boyd, Jackson Marquis, Jesse McLareth, Darren Cardona, Ben Sousa, and Chase Cannon.
And for the 1st place regular season team Assumption, coached by Chris Young and Sean Hayes. Team players, we have Griffin Kitchen, Charles Young, Benjamin Hayes, Braden Pike, Micah Steffen, George Dovis, Aiden McQueenie, and Samuel Osborne.
All righty, let's start off with our individual awards now. Our defensive player. The defensive player is the person that has quickness, agility, the ability to rebound, the ability to get the ball back when you need it. That person who kind of causes havoc on the court and gives you the opportunity to get the ball back when you need it. Right now, let's have Aaron start us off with our first individual award.
For Team Stonehill, the defensive player is going to be Hayden Corman.
For Team Southern New Hampshire University, Andrew Parnell.
For St. Anselm, we have Bryce Lewis.
For Team Merrimack, we have Ben Sousa.
For Team Assumption, we have Sammy Osborne.
And for Team Franklin Pierce, we have Logan Filipina. All right, let's get into our next category, sportsmanship. Sportsmanship, that team player, the person that is there for the team, cheers the team on, listens to the coaches, listens to what the referees are calling, listens to his teammates. That person that is willing to be the leader, not just through dribbling, shooting, the raw talents of the game, but more so that person that can actually help their team when they need them most. Calm them down, talk to them, sportsmanship. Aaron, would you get into the first individual, please?
For Team Stonehill, the Sportsmanship Award goes to David Gerling.
Team Southern New Hampshire University, Cole Nault.
Team St. Anselm, Benjamin Dubrell.
Team Merrimack, Marcus Ansel.
Team Assumption, Aiden McQueenie.
Team Franklin Pierce, Carter Moore. Let's now do our most improved category. Most improved. The individual that has, from back in December when we first started out with our clinics to here in March, that person that has improved in their own dribbling abilities, their own shooting abilities, has learned the game, has actually now have a good understanding of how the game of basketball is played. Aaron, would you please start with our first award recipient?
For Team Stonehill, the most improved award is going to go to Judah Therian.
Team Southern New Hampshire University, Brian Place.
Team St. Anselm, Jude Ecklow.
Team Merrimack, Max Danboys.
Team Assumption, George Dovis.
Team Franklin Pierce, Cristiano Freitas. At this time, I'd like to talk about our league MVPs. Every year, the coaches come up with players who meet a criteria for MVP. What is the criteria for MVP? It's kind of basically all those sportsmanship, defensive player, most improved, kind of all rolled into one. Also, somebody that is actually a leader in a different way. You know, they're able to really help their team, to recognize when a player is down, they're going to help that player up. They look for not only for them to shoot a ball, they're going to look for a pass. They're going to look for the overall team play out on that court. They're also the one that you can count on when you need the basket made. Aaron, would you introduce, this year actually in our third, fourth grade, we're going to have co-MVPs. So Aaron, at this time, would you please announce our MVPs?
This year for our boys 3-4 division, our first co-MVP is going to be Darren Caradona. And this year's second co-MVP is going to be Charlie Young.
That concludes our awards announcements for this division. And I want to thank everybody, and I want all you to understand that you're all winners. Every single one of you should be very proud of yourselves because you all have improved in each in your own way. And that is important. And you all need to know that. Every one of you look awesome out on that floor, and it's a joy watching every single one of you grow throughout this sport of basketball. You have anything to say?
Sure. I just wanted to say that this was my first year being the program supervisor for the basketball program, and I had a lot of fun. I was actually really nervous in the beginning, but you guys were all very welcoming. It was a great season, and I can't wait for many more to come.
Thank you all. Thank you, moms and dads. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next year.